Actor Todd Waite has been a resident company member at the Albee Theater, I can't believe this, for the past 25 years, and to date has played the world's most famous detective, Sherlock Holmes, in 6 different productions. He's currently playing the character in Ken Ludwig's Baskerville, a Sherlock Holmes Mystery, which also, they say, marks his final production as a resident acting company member, and possibly his final time playing this iconic role. Now with us to tell us more is about his farewell, these are air quotes around it, performance. He's like Cher to all of us, a true stand-up guy and a friend of mine, Todd Waite. Welcome, Todd.
Hi,
Hello,
Todd.
Houston.
Thank you.
Hey,
Yes, okay,
nice
let's
to see all of you.
Let's start with the Cher similarities here. Cher's big farewell tour.
That's
she
what
didn't
I
stay
call it.
down for long.
Been going on for 20 years, hasn't it?
Yes. I will still be acting. I'll still do plays. I'm just retiring from the permanent company, which has been such an incredible blessing. There's very few contracts in America that you are paid week in, week out, and have that opportunity. But it's also a lot of plays per year. And at 65, being between dust and cremate, I felt that perhaps I should cut down to maybe 3 plays a year.
So you'll still be out there flexing that acting muscle that we love so much.
Yeah, thank you for that. And yes, I will be.
I mean, you're a professional. I can't imagine memorizing a play. I'm 65 in a month. I can't imagine memorizing all those lines. Is that a challenge for you? Is that one of the things going on?
Well, my memory is still as good as it was, but
Right.
it's just as much as it always has. It takes up enormous amounts of time because most of us, basically are off book before we start rehearsals. Then there's a month of rehearsal, a month run. So you are constantly in your spare time memorizing. Love words, love plays, love the people I work with, but enough.
Because we know somebody from the Alzheimer's Association.
Oh,
that
yeah, we
could-
do. We have friends in high places.
Well,
That's
it's
for
interesting.
sure.
Another actor from the Alley once said to me, it's like working any muscle. So this memorization of lines is a muscle you work all the time. So you're probably better at it than lay people like us who would sit down and try and learn something because you've used that skill repeatedly.
And I'm better at it now than I used to be, even though I am older just because we do it so much. But I can tell you one of my concerns is doing fewer. I've decided I'm going to learn the lines of King Lear and The Tempest so that I keep my mind
that
going.
muscle going.
And I might be ready if anyone ever wants to listen to me.
and when you're doing so many plays and you're the same one, how do you stay fresh and how do you keep that character new for new audiences when they come in, day out?
You know, that's a really good question. And I do know that some actors get very bored doing that. A lot of them go into TV and film so to avoid that, long runs in New York. I did long runs for years because at the Shaw Festival, we'd open a play and run every one of those plays every year for 9 months.
Wow.
It's never bothered me. I've never been bored. I did Les Miserables for a year. I could have done it another year. I'm not quite sure if it's the audience that keeps me fresh because I'm very audience focused. I want to connect with them. I always imagine somebody there is that kid I was at 9 or 10 that goes into theater because of a great moment that they see. So I don't know. It just keeps me fresh. You can also say, today I'm just going to concentrate on seeing everybody's eyes. Today I'm going to concentrate on really listening. Today on keeping forward momentum. So you should keep fresh if you're a professional.
Yeah, right.
Okay, people who love you. This is the we love you part. So Doris sent me an email that said, I hope my schedule allows me to catch your interview with Todd Waite. We moved to Houston. We saw him first in Santaland Diaries, which was hilarious. Over the years, we've enjoyed mostly the mysteries. My daughter was in town for Hounds of the Baskerville's last performance, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. We are heading to the parking garage, and we joined the crowd to applaud Mr. Waite when he headed out of the theater, wishing him well and hope to see him from time to time.
I mean, that's so lovely.
Well, it doesn't end there because, our phone lines are open at 713-440-8870.
All right.
And on the line, we have Charles. Charles from the 3rd Ward. What's on your mind?
Hey, I just wanted Mr. Waite to know that he is my favorite actor in Houston, and I love seeing his work, and he's killing it in Baskerville, and I love seeing his picture in Outsmart, a very pulchritudinis picture. And my big question is, now that he's leaving the Alley full time, will we see him on some of the smaller stages and smaller theaters here in Houston?
Oh, are you going
That's
to
a
work?
good question.
Thank you to Charles. Are you going to work with other companies?
Absolutely. If there's a wonderful project to do and they think that I could do it well, I'm absolutely open to working. I'd love to work with the other companies. There's just been no opportunities in the past, but absolutely. I seem to recognize that voice, I think, by the way, but I won't, I won't give him away. But absolutely, I think I'm a neighbor over in the Third Ward area, as a matter of fact, and a great neighborhood to live in.
Take me to the show you're doing right now. You're back in the Sherlock Holmes garb.
Yes.
How does Sherlock change for you from production to production? Or have you found things through that journey that you just build upon to create the character?
I think the second, probably the latter, in the sense that there's a certain core thing for me that I can bring to it, which is this kind of sprung coil of physicality that's kind of waiting to explode because of some thought. That's kind of the main thing, where the surgical knife edge of his need is the language. So I always start with what's the key word in every sentence. But what changes it are the playwrights who've adapted it.
Right.
And I've done 6 plays, as you've pointed out, all from different authors. This one is a spoof on it, kind of a goof, where Brandon Hernsberger, Elizabeth Bunch, had Dylan Godwin play like 45 characters, 75 costume changes. Literally, one has 5 people working on that costume change for 12 seconds. It's a spectacular bit of theater virtuosity to see. They're really the stars of the play, along with Christopher Salazar. It's told through Watson's point of view. So it's fun for me to be able to do something that doesn't take it too seriously, because it's not Hamlet. It's never been Hamlet, but it's fun as hell, and that's why it's good to go out on this one.
I may have asked you this question in the past when we're doing Agatha Christie shows or whatever, but my concern as an actor in a role like this, you know the outcome. You know what's going to happen here.
I do.
How do you make sure you don't play moments that may either give away something, mislead someone, or maybe you underplay something that the audience really should have for following a mystery through?
I think back to when Ernie asked me that question in 2006, and I say, gosh, I better be careful.
No. We have done this a lot over the years, and it's always been a joy.
I'm teasing. I don't know you asked me that. But no, we're just very careful to not give away. And in rehearsal, sometimes we realize, wait a second, I'm having an attitude or an arched eyebrow or a bit of a look of something that I shouldn't really know. And the directors help us out with that. And this crew of rascals will look at me and say, oh, I see. You have ESP, Todd, with this character, do you? Yeah. And I'll know, oh, okay.
God, I went too far on that.
Yeah. So you've mentioned Shakespeare 2 or 3 times now. Do you have a favorite, if a play comes your way and you think, yes, I cannot wait to do it?
Yeah, I mean, my mom was an English professor and probably the greatest teacher of language I ever knew. I'd go when I was in grade 7 and 8 to her grade 12 classes, and she'd throw down a Shakespeare book, dog-eared and dusty almost, and she'd say, this book is full of teen love, suicide, murder,
betrayal,
sex, love, intrigue, laughter. She'd toss it down on the desk. It's the complete works of Shakespeare. So,
or the Bible, one of the
one of the other. So I would love to do a little more Shakespeare. I'd love to do Lear. I'd love to do Prospero in The Tempest. I would love to have done Hamlet. I think Hamlet's a lot like Sherlock in the more serious plays, not in this one.
I was Laertes, by the way, in college.
I can see it. You could still play it.
We'll do it together.
There you go.
Todd, I actually want to know, you're going to have a little more time on your hands. Is there anything that you want to do for yourself outside of the theater?
Rest.
A little R&R?
Yeah. Well, you know, my graduate work is actually in directing. And I did a fair amount of directing before coming here. And I took 2 years off to go and be the senior artistic in-house director for O at the Bellagio for Cirque du Soleil. So I would like to get the opportunity maybe to direct a little more. But before that, I'm going to Vancouver, my hometown, although I'm going to for sure retire in Houston because I love it, for 2.5 months. So I'm going to go up to Vancouver on May 21st, and luxuriate in the beaches.
And you have earned it. If my count is right, at the Alley, you've been in 135 productions. Does that sound right?
I have full productions. I'm sure if you add in like readings and things, it's a lot more than that.
Really quickly before we go, Bob is on the line, and he's got a comment for you. He's calling from the Museum District. Take us out, Bob. You there?
Todd, Todd's an old friend of ours. Well, he's not old. He's a dear friend of ours. And I just wanted to talk about how he has done so much for the community, not just the theater itself. He taught me how to read poetry. He taught my wife how to do a TEDx talk. And he works with young actors, and he's very involved in the community. And I just wanted to know how much I appreciate it.
Yay.
Wow.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Bob.
Thank you,
so
Bob.
much.
And a huge thank you to you, too, Todd.
Thanks
That
to
Brought
all of
so
you.
much to our community, and we truly
Enjoy your
appreciate it.
retirement.
That's right.
Thank you.
Come
I
back
love
and visit
Houston.
us.
Thanks, everyone.